Alright, here's my solo flawless run of the Equilibrium Dungeon. Doing an audio clip on top of it. Somebody had asked me to do, so I'm just going to kind of go over strategies I used, the loadouts, things of that nature, to kind of give you things to look to avoid, stuff like that. So when I first loaded in, the first thing I'd always do is I would go ahead and pop Getaway Artist. This build is prismatic Getaway. And when I would do that, I would just go ahead and run through this opening section. If you run through there quick enough, you are not going to have any issue with the Cabal pods dropping down. They're kind of on a timer. So as long as you immediately proc a Getaway and run through there, you should be okay. But if you're at all worried, go ahead and just kill things and then wait for the pods to drop and then kill those enemies. You see here, I just do a little jump around thing here just to save a few seconds. You don't need to do that. You can just go the normal way. Now these guys are not too difficult to deal with. What I would do is I would block with the Praxic Blade. The moment they would stomp, I would then do my regular attack. So you see I push up, block, stomp. Now I'm going to do the 3 and then the heavy. Easy. Bob's your uncle. Here we go. So the build, you can run the same build throughout on a Warlock, and I think it's a pretty good consistent build. It's Getaway Artist, Prismatic, Devour, Helion, things of that nature. As you can see here, I've got this. I'm going to take a look at the loadout here and throw on. I had 2. You don't have to use 2. They were not very different. You can see right here, I'd had different resistances on when I was fighting the boss on a field run. Now I'm switching them back for this encounter, and I'm throwing on the heavy sniper, which I really like here, just in case I need it. And I'm going to go ahead and start. And I believe at another time I'm going to look over the stuff for this loadout as far as the subclass stuff. But easy thing here, get started. It doesn't matter which side you start on. It's not really a big deal. I usually throw my sword here. Kill those guys really quick. I usually pop, reproc my Getaway. There it goes. And tend to just let Arc Souls do a lot of the killing. That's going to be a real theme throughout here. Just let the Arc Souls do their thing. Do a lot of damage. So here, I like to block and get him right at the edge of the ramp. Once he does his charge, I'm going to go grab that, and I'm going to run over here just to be safe. Let him do that, and then I'm going to go grab these. If you don't get him right near the edge of that ramp, that thing that he does can be inconsistent, I found, and not always hit that and take that barrier down. You can use any of the 3 locations for that. I just got to a point where I liked using that one, but it doesn't really matter. I just felt like there was a little bit less going on there and a little more cover, so it just seemed a little more safe. The track here, you get to know it after time. You'll see right here, I avoid this section completely. You can miss one of the little pools and still be okay, as long as you feel comfortable that you can get to the next pool in time. And you have a lot of dodges on this that keep recharging each time you hit one of these pools, so use your dodges as much as you want for the most part if you need to, if you're about to hit something. So, get done with the track. I would jump off the Sparrow here. I think I accidentally jumped back on. There it is. And the first thing I would want to do is I would get off of that and I'd proc Getaway again. And then I would switch back with the button to get to the ability that you use to take a shield down. Just kick it down there, just do their regular attack. Finish that up. And then the moment the drop pod lands, just get right in there. Do your regular same attacks. These initial walkers are pretty weak. Then I would come over here and I would try to get this sniper down real quick. The souls ran out, I would just throw my sword like that. You're going to see me a lot during this, like I'm going to switch off the Renegade ability to my Getaway, and I'm going to proc Getaway Artist over and over. You want to keep that as active as much as you can. It's going to keep killing enemies for you and keeping your Devour up, and that's going to be key to staying alive. Same thing here, block, push in, 3 light, 1 heavy, easy kill. So again, I push up, blocking to be safe. I just get the kill on those little guys just to reproc Devour and get any health I might be missing back. This guy pops that, so I break his shield real quick. Pretty simple stuff here. You just gotta be careful here. It gets a little busy, and if you don't feel comfortable with what's going on, this will get you in trouble. Especially, obviously, if you're on a subclass without Devour. Like, if I was running something without Devour, it'd be way less likely that it'd probably be in this mess right here. You know, I feel comfortable because I know that I can just keep getting my health back on a kill. Oh, be careful there. That Hyper Blade, if you've got that running on the practice, it can get you in trouble. And you see, like, a lot of times the shield guy, I just throw the sword at them. Easy way to kill them. Take his shield down. Again, trying to just keep Getaway going constantly. Now here I'm going to get in a little bit of trouble. And the moment you get in trouble, I block real quick, buy myself a second, and pop your super. So the main use of this super throughout this entire run is protection. Right? The damage resistance while you're in Song of Flame, crazy high. Now here I'm just trying to burn the abilities because I can get back to the Renegade ability to take the shield down because you can't use it. The unfortunate thing is when you're in Song of Flame or Prismatic, you cannot use that ability. So I like to get rid of that sniper if I can. Bring down the shield. And again, just kind of standard stuff here. I keep trying to make sure, of course, the big thing you want to be careful about here is losing that shadow ability. It sucks to lose that in the midst of this and have to get back on a speeder and go around the course again. So I really learned as the more I did this that to really pay attention to my timer consistently to make sure that I just kept that going. The other thing you want to make sure here is that you can see I popped the Prismatic there, so I got to burn it so I can get my shadow ability back. My shadow ability is getting low now. Got to get this guy down. So I'm gonna switch real quick. Hit him. You have to be really careful when you bring that shield down. That you do indeed bring it down with that ability. It is a little wonky just occasionally. It's pretty consistent, but every now and then I would not bring it down, and I would be right next to the guy, and it could cause a wipe. So at this point, all of the shielded guys are dead, so I don't have to worry about keeping up the shadow ability anymore. This is an interesting run because this run was, ironically, out of all the runs I did, felt like one of my worst runs, and yet it was the one I finally got done on. So this is just kind of showcasing that if you want to grab the speeder, it does decently. It's alright. I tended to never really use it. This is like one of the few times I actually used it to bring stuff down. I feel like if I was on the Warlock, my abilities are going to do a lot better. That's the reason I use the heavy sniper. These last couple behemoths at the end that spawn in are really tanky. And just getting in there and going toe to toe with them got me killed a few times. So I would, especially if I didn't have my super, I just would stay away and I would use the heavy sniper on them. Right here I noticed, oh crap, there's one on the left of me. Alright, so now I'm getting my abilities back. So now I'm going to pop my Transcendence because my grenade is going to weaken. And this should be a pretty easy kill. And then I've got one guy left over here. Still got my Transcendence grenade up. I'm going to try to hit him with that, weaken him with that. And then over here, like get weak. I want to save that Phoenix dive. And just try to use the heavy sniper. And again, that's part of the reason I like bringing the heavy sniper here. The Civil Discourse works pretty well on him also. As one of the things I ran. You can see right there I switched to Eagle Red Sword. Pick up my crappy loot. Now, there's going to be parts on this video, not too many, but where it goes to double speed cloak. There's going to be one of them. Zip, zip, zip. No reason to see that. Zip, zip, zip. Okay. To give you an idea of why this run surprised me, I was kind of out of it. It takes me 3 jumps just to get up here. I don't know what's wrong with me, but just, I think I had other stuff in my mind, and I was just... I can't remember, like, literally right here, kind of refocusing for a minute, because I'm like, alright, I'm not with it. So, you know, get here, I run through this initial part, and then right when I get to the end of this hallway, that's going to be when I proc my Getaway Artist, because I'm about to hit the next set of enemies. I think it might speed up here, but I use this to... I use Getaway to the killing. Now this one right here, just run up to the left, easy, simple, kind of blocks you from the big chunky enemy downstairs. And then, yeah, here's where it speeds up. Getaway does most of the work, and sometimes when I'd see a little group of enemies, I would just do a little light sword throw with the heavy attack, but by just tapping it, that would clear out things pretty well. but Getaway does a lot, and of course it's nice to be amplified, run through a little faster. Now this part right here, this part seems to give people trouble whenever running on people. If you want to try to be safe, pop your Getaway, try to get your amplified built up, and then run, big jump, and if you start to get pulled at all, just a nice little swing, keep you over there. You can deal with those guys first too if you want, shoot them from over there, and here it's going to speed up again. This is pretty straightforward. But you can definitely kill those snipers before you jump across, if that would make you more comfortable. I never had an issue with them where I felt like they were going to kill me when I jumped across. I never really shot them before I went. But, you know, and watch for this guy behind you, that turret. If you're amplified, you can just run right there. Now this part right here, I just wanted to highlight too. That's where the broken window is. You should know about this one now, but if you don't, if that window breaks with enough damage, it will slug everything in there. That can ruin your run, so just watch out for that. So you come through here. I always like to just kill this guy right here. I would block until his shield got brought down, which would stun him, and then I would just kill him real quick. He does use a minigun, so he can be a little bit of a problem. Run past where you're supposed to go, like everybody does. Then zip, zip, zip. Go into the next boss. And you can see when I get here, I'm going to take a look at my loadout real quick. I'm going to switch my resiliences here. What I'm going to have, I'm going to run I kind of run two different things depending on, because I do switch loadouts. This is my running around one, and the one you're going to see next is going to be the boss one. So if you just want to run one, I would run this. This is what I ran. I ran Void because of the attacks Void, and I ran double melee. And that's pretty much it. So you can just stay on that if you want. That'll be just fine. You definitely do not. You can run one loadout this entire dungeon and be just fine. Here, I usually pop my Getaway, and I'll just show you can block his attack if you need to. But I run around like this. I just do a loop like right here until I see somebody come through a door, and then I just go through. Now, pretty straightforward. Get your buff. I'm really focusing in here. I have at least one thing of the buff before I come in the room, so that when I kill this guy, I can get the second. Now I can block if I need to, or cancel his attack is a better way to say it, right? I want to at least be able to get that to the point where I can use the ability to block his attack if I need to. So here, now I've got the full thing. You're going to see me a lot switch back and forth again. I like to keep rocking Arc Souls so I can get amplified, move around a lot faster, kill things when I'm running through the hallways, and so forth. Remember, look for the 3 green lights when you're moving before you leave the room, so you know it's done. The only way a switch gets undone is just on a timer. If you hit a switch and you activate it, and then you wait too long before you finish the other two, the first switch will become undone. So, pretty standard stuff here. I do always take the time, if I see him come in the room, I'm going to just go ahead usually, and now this time I missed him where he was, so now I block real quick. I heard the attack at that point, and knew that I needed to block to be safe. Most of the time that I am aware of him in the room, I'll just locate him. I'll get the ability ready, and I'll just take him out of the attack. I like to be safe that way. That's preference. Like right here, I see him pop in. I'm like, all right, you know what? Just gonna take care of him real quick. I just think that's the better way to be. I have in runs died. I was usually with the fire team, but like I didn't realize he was there. His attack took like, 99.5% of my health, and somebody else just shot me and I died. So I get all 3. I come in here. I think I initially forgot to switch, so yeah, I try to do it really fast. I would not recommend doing that unless you're really comfortable. And here I'm going to hit him, both him and the switch. And then I always like to try to have one of these things ready. This is dangerous. I cannot stress enough. The jumping up in the air and hitting those, I lost multiple runs to that. He would get underneath me and hit me against the wall and kill me, pretty much. So he would leave me like 1 HP and then somebody would shoot me. So be careful doing that. It's way more dangerous than it looks. I had that at this point. I had gotten pretty good at doing it the right way where I could definitely avoid him, but it's dangerous. Be careful. So trying to clear a few things while I get him in there. Make sure you try to punch him twice. This is key. second punch, there's half the shield down. You can see below his health bar. And here, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to both keep the room under control, but I'm also trying to keep my armor charge up. I've got like triple time dilation on, and I've got triple kinetic surge on to try to maximize my damage. So I'm trying to keep my armor charge up and also keeping the room under control. I've done the first one. I always wanted to do, if you notice here, the thing to break is on this side. This is the second one I'm doing. I always tried to do the second side on the same side of where the extra battery was, so that I could lead him towards it more easily. Now this one I think I might have screwed up. Yeah, I did. I ran away and I screwed it up, so now I have to use the battery initially. Now here I get in trouble, so I try to make sure that I get Devour going again, and I know I screw up this phase. So I went into this phase not the way I want it to go. What I want to normally have happen is when he jumps down in the second hole, I want to quickly switch to my grenade. I want to proc Getaway Artist, and I want to dive for Helion, and at this point he should be jumping out of the hole. I will switch back, do the Shadow ability twice to knock his shield down, and then I will proc Prismatic, and I will throw the grenade to weaken because of the one of the subclass fragments. That'll weaken him with my prismatic grenade. It's got a void aspect in it. And then some melees, and we'll talk about that more in the next damage phase because I do think that's important. You definitely get a lot more damage that way. My damage was decent for going in scuffed and then not having the everything ready and the battery as an extra timer. The battery, if you can take his shield down without using the battery initially, the battery is going to buy you 10 extra seconds of damage, but you do kind of have to be careful about the timing of it. I'm not 100% sure, but I think if you bring him to the battery really early after damage has started, I'm not sure you get the full benefit of it. I don't know. So I got lucky and I got out of there with the full shadow ability, so I was able to go right to work. Again, once I see him, I'm going to just bring him out of his attack right away. Pretty standard stuff here. I always tried to make sure I was very cognizant of my timer on my shadow ability and constantly keeping that up. It keeps the flow of everything going a lot better and faster. And if there's one thing I hate doing in a solo flawless run, is wasting time. It's a burden because what ends up happening is I do a lot of field runs because I get too much of a hurry. But there's certain things to me that like it helps keep you in the flow, right? Like you want to keep a steady flow here where you don't have to keep like hunting down the buff just to get all 4 parts to get it full. So I got my 3 lights here. I'm gonna run out. And the other thing I always tried to do is I always tried to go, left to right or right to left, whatever you want to call it. I never tried to start with the middle room because I tend to forget when I get to the end that I didn't do the first room. So I like to go from one side all the way to the other. That's just preference. Now, here. I don't have prismatic. And the reason I don't have prismatic is because I'm short on darkness power, which is the right of the 2 bars for prismatic. I would recommend keeping a darkness machine gun, a strand or stasis machine gun, so you can easily get that full. See, I get it full, I'm good, no big deal. But you definitely want to go into damage with prismatic. So now I'm going to wait for him, I'm going to take his shield down. Now I'm going to do this again for the battery. I'm trying to lead him away from me for the moment and away from this big area so I can do this part easier. So there's 2. I'm going to have to do this kind of fast or else they'll reset. And there's 3. See, I almost got hit there pretty hard. Now I think I never switched off of my loadout, so at this point I'm okay because I don't have to do a switch. So now I'm going to run around, and the same thing, I'm going to do opposite side of the battery first. Of course, you also have to be careful about falling in there. I know it doesn't seem like a big deal, but sometimes I think people get overwhelmed, feel like too much is going on, and they can easily fall into something like that. So I get the 2 shadow punches. Now here again, I'm in trouble. I'm gonna get off there and immediately throw Strand Melee to immediately get a kill and proc Devour, and I'm full health. Do whatever you need to do to survive. You know, I think people sometimes get to a habit of not wanting to use their abilities. They want to save them, and sometimes you just have to use them. So he comes up. Here's my punch. Again, I'm not doing this quite the way I want to. And again, maybe this is the one that I blew. So I go right into prismatic, and that's not what I want to do, because I would like to start with the Getaway artist first. But if you get in prismatic and you can get the grenade down to weaken them, and you can get the melees, you want to get the Strand melees in. They help deal a lot more damage. You definitely want to get 1 or 2 Strand melees in. I got him to hit the battery right there, kind of led him to it. This gives me extra time, which is going to help me a little bit make up for, again, not an amazing setup to the damage phase, but it was enough. Now right here I should dive, but he's done. When your health gets in the red and you got a Phoenix dive, just use it. I died for a few times for that. Now here's going to suck, because I can tell you right now I'm about to lose my shadow ability. Yep, there it goes. Happens, no big deal. Gonna run around. You can see that's 2 damage phases. So this build is pretty consistent to do a 3 phase on this boss. You have to use prismatic. And you have to hit him with both the prismatic grenade and a couple of the thrown melees to get the damage that you want. If you go into the damage phase and you just hit him with the sword, you're gonna do 50 to 60% of the damage I'm doing, I would say. Like, it's noticeable, and it's gonna take you two to 3 more phases. So, again, if there's one priority on damage, it's popping prismatic. It's hitting him with the prismatic grenade and a couple Strand melees, and then going into it. And then when I'm usually, what I try to do, I don't know if I did it perfectly in these damage phases, is I try to use the super some point about halfway into the damage phase. It seems like you do a little bit extra damage when you're in Song of Flame. That's what I got from some testing at the testing range. But I tended to try not to use it first thing because I wanted it to survive. Now that there, I missed him there, and I then used the sword to block. Have the sword out as much as you can so that you can block whatever you need. And I run, for the most part, I run the balanced form of the sword, so that I have a little bit of defense instead of just, like, you know, a little more offense, but it doesn't block as well. I think overall that's just better. I do have a switch at the main boss where I switch to the offensive form just for the boss fight at the end. Again, the switches are not necessary. You can see me switch again. I usually like to do it in the hall right there if I'm going to do it. Now at this point, I'm on the final damage phase. I probably don't even need the extra battery, but I'm still gonna, if I remember quickly, I'm still gonna do it. So I wait for him real quick. I actually wait for him to spawn there so I can run over here and do this easier. For whatever reason, it was these that always got me killed, because this one's a little tough to hit of the 3, and you can see I'm getting hit right there as it is. So I tried to lead him away initially and then go and do those, just to have the battery up as a backup, in case, for one thing, if I don't get the punches done on the 2 times he jumps out of the hole, I'm gonna need the battery anyways to take his shield down. Okay, falls in the hole. I'm gonna do the punch. I think this is the time that I actually, get the part that I want for the damage correctly. Let me see. Now I'm running around getting my armor charge back up. I'm gonna do this. Make sure you're moving when you're shooting that too. I think a lot of people just sit there and will shoot something like that. I don't know how well you notice it, but I'm moving away from him. Now there, I switch, I pop my Getaway artist, and then I switch back. And then I hit him like that. Okay, now I'm gonna pop Transcendence. I get in trouble here, so after I do my Transcendence parts, I'm gonna pop my class ability, get my health, So there's a little bit better entry into damage that I would want. Now my health gets low again, and I don't have a Phoenix dive, so I just pop super. I preferred if I had the chance to bring my super to final stand, but right here I blew it, so no big deal. So final stand, you're gonna get to see here too. A lot of times in final stand and solo, you will have him come up shield again. Take your time with the turrets. He does put his shield up at a certain amount of time here, but it's not the end of the world if you don't get over there quick enough. Kill these shielded guys first. At least one of them. So I got one down. I meant to get two. I think I might have left one up. So then I go at him. Alright, he's hurting me, so now, yep, possibility. I'm gonna throw my melees in there, so I'm trying to do a little more damage. And I think I come up just short here. And, yep, there's, now I'm hurt. I gotta back off. Okay, so I'm gonna proc my getaway, because there's gonna be some guys that spawn, and I want to let the Arc Souls get some kills. Now there is that thing right there, so if you saw it, there was a thing there to shoot, a little fuse, and the hole opens up. Same thing as before. Now I'm gonna try to punch him twice, get his shield to half, and now I need to run around again until that fuse spawns in again. Be careful here. This is a little more dangerous than it looks. I definitely got in some trouble here, and I know for sure I died once. Now these guys come out, kill them right away. You want this place to only have the boss. Alright, so now there's the fuse again. Let's come back. Now I'm trying to run around, get him in here, let my Arc Souls get some kills. He gives me a little trouble here. I have to wait for him to come around. I do think that's on a timer and it'll eventually close, but I think it works out. Again, now I've got to punch him twice. There's the first punch. And there's the second punch, and now he's kick. And of course, get that. There is another way. There are some fuses, are big batteries. Like there's one right there. There's one right on the other side of that. And there's some things above those to hit with the shadow ability. I don't think it's really necessary, but there's a secondary way to get them there. All right. I always throw my Eager Edge sword on here. Preference again, doesn't really matter what you do. I usually jump off of here and use an Eager Edge, and I can easily get over to the end. But, you know, if you want to be safe, just go right here. Obviously, not a big deal. And, you know, another thing I want to talk about here is jumping and how I think sometimes people mess up because they jump at the edge, right? Even though it's a small jump. When you jump from there, like I'm going to go back. Don't jump at the edge. Start your jump further back, like here. Because then if you mess it up, you'll be okay. I think too often people that struggle with jumping jump right at the edge. And if you do that and the jump doesn't go right, you're in trouble. So of course come down here, come to the left, you're going to drop down. And watch out for this thing right here. That. I don't usually have any problem hitting that, but just be wary of it. This thing right here, this is a trickier jump than it looks. You can just hop here. You can just do a one jump. That's all I do here. I just hit jump once. And you just fall right in. So a little speed up. I love having amplified for these areas to run through as Warlock faster. Obviously this is sped up a little bit. Come out here. You can go to the left as soon as you pop up there or behind these things and get away from that walker initially if you just want to be safe. Again, as usual, I'm just using Getaway Artist, kill the people, get Devour, then I block like normal on these guys. This guy's not a super chunky one. Get the kill. Now here, you do not have to go for this right away. I do make some jumps in here that I would not advise otherwise. Like here, I barely make that, even though I'm on a flawless attempt. It's one of my toxic traits is I've always had. I have a philosophy that when I'm in a solo flawless attempt, I maneuver the same way I always maneuver. I think people get too nervous on jumping stuff and get too scared and miss jumps when they're doing solo flawless stuff. So I, at one point, decided to change my philosophy and just say I'm just going to jump the way I always jump. Now this guy, I usually just go up and I block till his shield comes down, which stuns him, then I kill him. It's not too dangerous, but he does have a minigun, so it can be a problem. This, like most areas, I'm just proccing Getaway and Amplified over and over. and running through. Even this part here, there's two walkers. I just proc amplified, getaway, and I just run through. Don't really mess with anything. You should be fine doing that as long as you're just quick. I never died doing that. Never had a problem. Never got near death. So that should be... It's one of those things, if you don't want to do it, I don't blame you, but not too difficult of a thing. Now here, I usually would proc my getaway here again. I'm going to wait a second because there it is. Now I've got it. Again, it's just easier now. Watch out, that guy almost knocked me over. That would have sucked. He could have actually knocked me off. And coming in here, watch out here, don't run straight out. Because they're... I almost ran off that ledge once, just trying to push through really fast. These guys, I just want to say about these guys right here, don't mess with these guys. I don't use the sword on them, I just back off. On Civil Discourse, we'll usually one-shot if you hit them right in the backpack. Those guys do that boop attack and they will knock you off. Give them respect. Don't mess with them. I know that you can probably run onto them, sword them, and be okay 99 times out of 100. But, you know, do you really want to take the chance? Alright, so this is full. I think, here, do I not? I think I don't realize it at the time because there was only one there. That's pretty funny. I guess I'm realizing this now as I watch it. So, I get it again. And again, this is like me being aggressive with the jumps here. You don't need to be aggressive here. I am just a very aggressive jumper. It's always been how I am. Now you can see here, see a bump. This is why I like Strafe Glide. I would highly recommend Strafe Glide on Warlock at all times. I never turn that off. I think it's the best jump on Warlock. It lets you maneuver so well. So I can miss a jump and easily recover. I usually come up here with the sword, swipe, get them easy. Take that down, and then be safe. Just take these two snipers out. Do you need to? Probably not, but if you struggle at all with the jumping part right here, it'll be better that they're dead. And right here, just be careful. This, I've seen a lot of people hit that part on the top. This jump, I think, is trickier than it looks. So just be careful there, because you can definitely fall there and die. Going through here super fast as you go through the right door here of the two. Makes it easy, and I just decide to kill this guy, but I'll usually run away from him with no issue. There's a walker there on the right. I just run right by. Again, never really caused me any problems. Never had an issue just running by. I do want to say these two guys right here, these two bodyguards, I would not take these guys lightly on a solo flawless run. They hit kind of hard. You never really get to experience it much when you're on a fire team, because you kind of mess with them usually when your shield comes down that gets disorientated. But don't take these guys lightly. I would absolutely pop your Song of Flame going into that attack. Or going into that little mini encounter there, because they can be a problem. Alright, off to the boss. Main thing here for the boss is patience. You're going to see me in this encounter consistently until the very last phase. Kill one guy and commune with, or compel 4. That's because through, and you can see also I go double arc. I think it's double arc melee I stick with. Again, I have two different ones, but if you just want to have one, I would go probably double arc melee or double arc concussive. You just want a lot of arc resistance here. But the one kill for compel is because I had realized after compelling 5 that I could do more damage. So then I had switched my strategy. I would not recommend killing one unless you know you can get the damage out. Because again, each time you kill one of the guys, the threshold bar you get pushes further and can give you problems. We kind of watched this whole fight. I'm going to show you different things that happen that you know, I think are to be wary about. Anytime he's got hands up, that is your #1 focus. Now, when I come in here initially, I always try to kill the first guy, and I kill one orb. And because you get the time extension when you kill the orb up there, that should give you enough time to kill 2 of these guys before you leave. And my main focus when I would come in here initially starting the phase over or starting the encounter, I'm just trying to get my Shadow Master up before I get out of here. That's my main goal right here. I want to go into this next realm full buff. Again, make sure you take care of this quick. I was using Machine Gun on this for a bit. I find Uncivil Discourse better, but I definitely think that's a preference thing. So I would deal with that guy right away, whether I'd kill or compel him. You want to deal with that guy right away. Like you see, I almost died there. You got to be careful. Respect this area. And now, of course, I am now on the way. Again, you're going to see me make some, to be frank, stupid jumps, but it's because I'm very comfortable jumping in this game. Like, I feel very comfortable doing what I do in here. So, anytime you see these guys come out with the shields, throw the sword at them. Every single time. Do not take those phalanxes for granted. They will knock you off and kill you. I lost a couple of runs to those guys. You see here, I just switched to the heavy sniper real quick because I'm like, I know I'm going to kill one, so I just kill him up there easy. Now I don't have to go up there. Which is nice. Now this one, I don't know how I did this. This was my favorite part because I was pretty sure I was dead. Whew. Something happened when I came across, I can't remember what it was. I don't know if I got pooped or what. Yeah, that was lucky. But again, I missed the shield there, so I'm gonna block. I try to take a shield down and I miss the punch, the shield punchy thing. So I then immediately just start blocking with the sword so that he can't damage me. One thing to keep in mind is every time you come over here, oh, there it comes up again. When you first come back over here each time, he does that attack within 5 seconds. So what I normally do, I didn't get to do it there when we first came back because I fell, is I just try to stay in the opening area and I try to wait for him to do that lightning attack. I deal with it and then I'll run around. Now, what I'm trying to do here, I keep shooting those because I'm trying to buy a little time. So what my goal here is on my second trip here in the light zone, I want to be done with everything. Now watch this. Now watch me shooting. If you can see, I'm moving left while I'm shooting. Why am I doing that? Because there's guys on my right. You need to be moving away from stuff. Move away from danger. Now can that be dangerous if you're near a ledge? Absolutely. You have to kind of know your surroundings a little bit. But I think people get too caught up when they need to shoot something, just shooting it without moving. And I think a lot of people end up dying in situations where if they just were holding left when they were shooting, they'd be totally fine. Now, I still have Lure of the Dark timer up, which means I'm going back to the light realm. This is not how I wanted it to go, I just had things not go smoothly. But my goal on this side is to get all 5 of those orbs down. And see how I wait here? I come back, I wait for 5 seconds, and I do that. Now, what I want to do here real quick, before I go to damage, I want to find pillars, and I want to take them down. Because I don't want any lightning here, or I want at least as little lightning as there can be when damage is done. Now you're going to see me look for this because I am bad at knowing where these switches are. There it is. Now I got Face Your Death, so now I'm going to come over here. So you can see I'm kind of moving while I'm shooting. I just think, see, everything is chasing me. I could have easily died there if I stopped while I was shooting that. You gotta move while you do that. So again, I struggled there where I didn't quite finish it, but I think if I remember correctly, I realized that I had some more pillars there, or not pillars, rods that come down that I wanted to get rid of, and so I didn't just shoot that last thing on the pillar, the last little mini blight. Now here you can see I've got all boxes colored in, so that means I have compelled the 4 that are left over here. There would be 5 boxes, but I killed 1. That's how you can kind of tell where you're at in that circumstance, under the Lord Dark. So now I'm coming back. I didn't destroy the things on there yet, though. in the Shadow Realm, I didn't destroy the little mini blights on the pillar behind where the boss thing is. So now I'm looking around for any extra rods that are coming down. There's one right there. So now I'm gonna go see if I can figure out where this switch is. I think what I want to do first is get my shadow buff back up, which I think is more of a habit thing. Oh no, it isn't. No, I'm being stupid. It's because I need that to bring the rod up. So yeah, so now here I'm trying to decide if I want to shoot that or not. I want the buff full. I'm not quite getting it. So there, I get it now. I'm gonna try to run over there real quick and get it. So again, this opening encounter is not quite how I'd like it to go. But again, I'm safe. You know, I'm okay. So what I've decided here is, I'm done here. I'm just gonna go back. Now I don't have to go back to the Dark Realm. But now this will give me a chance to finish up the rods here. So there's the within 5 seconds attack. You always gotta be ready for. Now I'm gonna see if I can take these rods down. Maintaining my buff, making sure it's good. I can never find the switches. I think the one's on the corner right there. I can't see it yet. There it is. Now I'm moving away because that guy's about to blow up. And then there's the other switch. Now the rods are up. We're in great shape. I don't think I see any more. I've got another thing right here. I switched to machine gun because I wanted to conserve some of my hand cannon ammo because I was running low. So be really careful if you're ever going to do a switch. That was a little bit dangerous, but I knew I was safe. So now I'm just trying to get my armor charge to ×3. There we go. So I'm going to get that down again. Again, I want my armor charge as high as it can go so that when I go to damage, I'll have the maximum uptime on my kinetic surge ×3. So I've got ×2 armor charge. I'm going to get a couple more kills here. And block that to make sure I don't get hurt. Okay. Still at ×2 armor charge. I'm going to get this again. I can feel that attack's about to come back, so I run over, take care of it. Struggling to get this armor charge going, but you know, this is the type of thing you want to be patient about. I'd rather make sure that I've got the setup that I want. I want to make sure that my armor charge is ready. Now I'm going to run over here, get away from him real quick, let him do the attack. Okay, there's my getaway. There's my Helion. Now I pop Transcendence. And I throw my prismatic grenade. I hit him with a couple strand melees, and now I'm just going to go to town. Now, the moment I get in danger, I'll use my super. Make sure I'm okay. You can see the timer, 13 seconds. Now, once hands come up, just take care of hands. Don't mess with hands. Take care of them. So you can see here, I'm getting close. The timer's at 3, 2, 1. Okay, but I got past the threshold. And of course, hands come back up. So I got past the threshold that was on the bottom. You can see there's no lighting in the arena. So I did what I needed to do. But again, I did kill one, so the threshold was a little further. So you have to be sure that you can put out the appropriate damage. So now I'm in a situation just like before, where I'm just starting over. I am going to want to, same thing as usual, I'm going to try to deal with these guys, get my shadow buff up as high as I can. I try to shoot some of these, but I shoot those a little bit too late, so they don't give me when you're in the last couple seconds, you don't get the time bonus back. So I come over here and I just decide I'm just going to kill this guy then. I can't compel him, but I want him out of there, because that central one is the biggest pain in the ass. I just want him gone. Again, these are big, scary jumps. Don't do jumps you're not comfortable with. Like right here, you can see the jumps I do. They are risky. Now this guy, I'm gonna throw my sword. I already know it. Yep, because I don't mess with that guy. Alright, I'm weak. I gotta be careful. I create this staircase if you hit this switch right here, but unfortunately I'm out of time. I was hoping to get up there. I do have the full buff though, so now I need to make sure I don't lose it. And what I want to do right now is I want to make sure I get this guy's attack first. Here it comes. Again, when you come back, within 5 seconds, just be ready. And everything else is kind of standard here. I'm going to do this by myself a little time. Running around, just trying to keep Devour up. Look for switches, bring the rods down. Here's the attack again. Again, what's happening here is I'm moving right. I'm moving away from the guy right there. When you shoot the hands, you gotta be aware of what's going on, what's behind you, what's in front of you, You standing still and shooting hands is you're asking to die. You are asking to be killed. But being near a ledge and moving while you're shooting hands is also asking to die, because you're gonna fall off the ledge. It's tricky. So there's a switch right here on the main area, on the floor, on one of the sides, and you're gonna see it creates a little staircase up. I think there's 3 different switches in this arena, in the Dark Realm, that give you a stairway to the top guy. So because I killed the main middle guy, I have to now go up here and compel this guy. So here we go. And pretty much every time you compel somebody, they create one of those pools right near them. You'll kind of learn that as you go, and where they spawn. But every time you compel a guy. So now I'm waiting for the attack. There it is. I will say, if you are getting the lightning attack from the boss, and then you start to notice that you're being damaged by other enemies, finish killing the boss's hands before. If you try to switch and deal with like other enemies while the boss is doing that attack, you are probably gonna die. That attack ramps up. Every time it happens, you're gonna see me deal with it. I'm moving right to stay away from the guy that's there. Now I move a little further right. Now I'm trying to get this last one done. Okay, so now the light realm, all 5 of those are done. That's what I want when I do this every time. So now I'm just in the dark realm. I'm not gonna go back until I kill everything in the dark realm, the 5 little mini blights on the pillar. So now I gotta take my time in here. Again, I do not approve of these jumps. Do not do these jumps. Unless you feel very, very confident in your jumping ability. Now right here, you'll notice like I look for this guy, and I take him out. But I was at the side, behind cover, so that the boss wouldn't hit me. The mini guy that's throwing stuff at me now. So now I get full, go back and compel him. These guys, if they have a line of sight of you while you're jumping up to go upstairs to get the guy up top, they can easily kill you. So there's a trick to not a trick, but there's a feel to which ones you deal with. You know, I definitely think the middle one, right when you spawn in, you always want to deal with very early, because he can hit you from a lot of different areas. Line of sight's really good. The guy up top is hit or miss, whether or not he'll shoot at you depending on where you are. It just depends if he's on that side, right? Like, the guy up top can be... Watch this, I'm gonna throw my sword at him again. Again, you see that guy spawn out with that shield, you throw the sword. The guy up top, like, you could be here and he could be shooting at you right now if he was available and he was looking at you and on that side. But if he's on the opposite side, he won't mess with you. So he's hit or miss about whether or not he messes with you depending on where you are. So you're gonna see again before I jump over here. Before I jump over to this main area again from being around this area on the outside, I always proc Getaway, because I know that those buddies are gonna shoot people as I jump over and help protect me, and proc Devour and the whole bit. So now I'm ready. I had done my loadout switch this is what you want to do, right? You're about to go. Okay, I'm going to make sure I refresh my armor charge. I'm going to do my Getaway. I'm going to do my Phoenix Dive, Transcendence, and then Grenade, Melee, and then Toxic, over and over. And just try to stay on it. Now, the moment you get in trouble, pop your super, do a Phoenix Dive if you have to. It's really easy to die during damage. So just be careful, take what steps you need to. So now, again, you can see that threshold. I'm almost meeting it. It's the bright area. I'm just gonna meet it in time. I take his hands out, and I think one of the things that happened with this phase, though, that I screwed up on is I didn't grab some of the rods that came down. And then now you can see that's, of course, that's what happens, right? Like, it's not the whole area that's full with electricity. But because I didn't go and get some of the rods, it's partially electrified, which is not a good thing, right? So, I'm gonna go back here and block real quick. That one I kind of got in the middle of doing the Getaway, so I kind of risked it a little bit there. That wasn't super smart, but now I'm just trying to get some shadow buff. Before I go back. Now, and again, I don't know if you noticed it, but I almost got booped off. Always try to have the sword out, because the moment somebody boops you, you can swing with the light attack right back into position and keep yourself from being thrown off. That saved me a lot. Okay. So, I kind of had a hectic initial area, and Uncivil Discourse is another reason I like it. I mean, that's really good, that range. It has amazing range. But something that some people don't know about Uncivil, of course, is that the precision multiplier is really high. So precision shots for Uncivil Discourse do great damage. Non-precision shots do shit damage. So just something to be aware of. So you can see it barely has any health left. But I have to be careful. I've got some lightning up. This, I wasn't quite sure if I can get through or not, but I had my class ability, so as I ran through, I was able to do my Phoenix Dive and get to safety, get my health back. But this is the type of thing that will ruin your run if you let all these rods stay down and don't deal with them before a damage phase. You really want this taken care of. So, you know, I get away with it on this run, but it's really something that you don't want to even deal with remotely. I can say that if you ever get to a point where you don't hit a threshold and you have lightning everywhere, try to get to one of the side areas with the ramps, and stay on the outside and get people to come to you to try to get some of the buff, but mostly you're just trying to wait for the timer to go, so that you can get over to this realm and then get more of this shadow buff, so that then you can whatchamacallit, deal with the rods. Now the nice thing, if you get to this point where you've only got a little bit of health left, like I wasn't thinking there when I initially did that, I think about it right after, is I don't need to compel anybody. I can kill all 5 now. So I'm pretty sure you're going to see me go and just kill everybody else now. I'm going back over, so it's not a big deal. You got to be careful too if you're jumping or running when you teleport between realms. That can get you killed also. Just be aware of that. So I'm trying to get rid of a couple guys here. I'm going to deal with this. Now I'll wait for this guy. I don't have it, so I'm going to block. See, blocking really keeps you safe. Blocking the Prismatic Blade is phenomenal. Alright, so then I got the buff now. We're going to take the shield down. That... So you gotta be careful too. I don't know if you saw that, but I almost swung myself right off the ledge. You definitely do not want to operate near ledges if you can help it. I mean, this run is full of like... Oh, and right there too, I almost fall off the ledge. Like this run, God, I feel like I almost died like 10 times during this entire run. So, I am now understanding that all I have to do is find these guys and kill them. So now I'm trying to locate them on the map. Again, these are the type of jumps I would not recommend. I mean, look how close this is. I'm, I'm 2 minutes from getting my first solo flawless, and I'm still jumping like that. Now this part's dangerous. I get in trouble, and again, Phoenix diving on floating platforms, not something I can recommend, but it's something that when you have done it enough, you feel comfortable that you can get away with it and hit your mark. But you want to try to avoid putting yourself in that situation at all costs. Alright, so now, full buff. Now I can start getting rid of these damn things. Now I'm waiting for his hands. Here we go. Again, just, I know I keep saying it every 5 seconds. I'm sorry, within 5 seconds of each time you come back here, he's going to do that attack. I forgot that one time, and I pushed hard right. I ended up on the ramp, kind of near where I am now, and I didn't realize he was attacking me because it was kind of hectic. And I wiped. And it was a shitty wipe that I hated. So it should be your priority when you come over here. The first thing you want to do is you want to wait for that attack, be in a safe place like in the opening area, and deal with it. So now I'm trying to get over here and get this other lightning rod down. I just want things clear here as best as I can get, so that the area, at least in the front, is nice and clean. So now I'm just gonna kill these and immediately go back, because I don't really need to be here anymore. I'm not terribly worried. I feel like I got a little bit of health to go, and at this point I feel like I just want to get this over with. Now this is dangerous, but I get myself back. Now see, this is one of those things where I wasn't paying attention to the 5-second rule of when I came back over here, and I almost blew it. But I'm just like, I just want to end this. Probably a little bit of frustration here more than anything, and I should have been a little more careful, because you can see how close I get to dying here. So, like, but, pull it out. So that's pretty much it. Always bag the boss. He definitely deserves it. But, you can run the same loadout throughout. Prismatic, Getaway, Helion, Devour. Pretty simple and pretty easy, and gets the job done. And that's it. Good luck.